switch to?
Yeah, go for it.
Hi, my name is Chad Brown. This is my beautiful family. I was born and raised in Waianae, Hawaii. I went through the Sierra Productions program, a national award-winning video program out of Waianae. Graduated from Waianae High School in 2004. I attended the Art Institute of California in Los Angeles, got my associate's degree in video production. I came home in 2007, and one of the problems that I saw when I came back was you had Sierra Productions teaching all of these kids these amazing skill sets in video production, and sending them off to college, getting the degrees, but when they came home, they had very limited employment opportunities. So most of the people that I knew ended up working for one of the three big news stations. This is kind of before YouTube exploded and kind of created a need for smaller companies to have internal media specialists, and before Wavy TV even started to hire local talent. So there's only a few select studios outside. So me and a few friends figured we had the talent. With the help of Sierra Productions, we started Macaw Studios. We landed a few big clients, WK Kellogg Foundation, Publishing, and HMSA. And we did what everybody said we couldn't. We started a for-profit video production studio out in Waianae. And so, if video production, I like to say video production is my trade, then gaming is my passion. And so, I've been in the video production field for 18 years. I have over 30 years of gaming experience, game mechanics, game design. Some of my earliest memories is of me playing video game, and with the help of Photoshop, I can kind of show you guys how I remember it. So that's the controller is not real in my hand. Similar to my situation, the kids coming out of Sierra Productions, Sierra Digital nowadays, they have these amazing skills in 3D design and animation, but they have even less opportunity than what I had back in the day. So, which brings us to my next venture called Hicon Games. I had a few ideas for some game designs that I thought would be received well by local gamers, and I had the connections that I needed to kind of get the ball rolling. So I put together a team, and all of us are volunteering our time and we're working on 2 different video game projects. All of us live in Hawaii. 40% of us are from the Waianae Coast, and 50% are native Hawaiian. And so we started developing our first game called Hōkū in March of 2016, and we have an internal release date set for October 2019. That's 3.5 years of us building our team, prototyping our game, developing the game until we was ready to launch our Kickstarter, raise some initial funding. Until now, we're starting pre-production on our second game, Naiole. All up to we want to release our first game in October this year. And all of this is on volunteer time. And then, so with our second game, we don't have to do a lot of that initial setup work like we did with Hōkū. We've learned a lot through this process, and we can optimize some workflow. And so we think we can bring our second game development cycle down to about 2 years. But I think we can bring that down to even less than about 1 year if we're able to raise $100,000. So we already have all of the software and equipment that we need in order to produce these games, and we just need more time from our team. And so with this funding, we'll be able to spend more time doing some market research, figuring out what direction we should take Hicon Games, what games we should be developing next, kind of learn market trends, and ensure that we can be around for a long time to come. We'll also be able to hire some new talent. We're lucky enough to have a lot of volunteers for this first game, donate their time and get stuff done, but for our next game we do see some holes that we need to fill, and we just have to hire those people. And we'll just be able to spend more time developing games, which will allow us to get games out there quicker, gain more experience in the same amount of time, and then just jumpstart this gaming industry here in Hawaii, prove that it's possible. And so, by using this money to hire local talent, we see some passive outcomes. And so, we're going to have Hawaiians creating Hawaiian video games. With our unique perspective, we feel like we can bring some unique experiences to the gaming market. We're able to export digital goods we have a limited amount of land and natural resources here in Hawaii, so being able to create something and share that with the world without using any of those, I think is an amazing thing that we should start doing. And also, we just get to create jobs that is otherwise not available here in Hawaii. And I think that's the most important thing to me, because without that happening, none of the other things are possible. And so that's the end of my presentation. Thank you very much. I had to slide my dollar penny in here somehow, so if you have any questions, comments, and concerns.
Next time. Judges, questions?
Yes.
I'm curious what aspects of, and I love the idea of having the authentic Hawaiian values and concepts within games. Do you have ideas for like how those are going to be embedded in that? Is that through the background thing or through the activities?
Yeah, I think for us to succeed, we really need to lean on that. To bring fresh experiences to the market, not just create stuff that other people are doing. So, like in all our games, so our first game is Hōkū. It's based on Pogs. If you guys ever played Pogs growing up, but even with that game, it's a simple game. We're trying to incorporate a lot of hidden things in there to teach people about Hawaii. And then with our next game, Naiole, that's more of a story-driven game. So that one is a little bit more obvious. Like we're doing a lot of research, trying to figure out this story and then tell it in a unique way with video games.
Can you share more on the market research that you folks do to help determine what game you folks will be creating?
Yeah, so it started with just like I had some ideas and figured that this would do well. And with launching our Kickstarter, we kind of proved that there's some interest there and whatnot. But we really need to, I guess, ask more questions. I figured out this is a learning process for us. And so, that's something that we really need to focus harder on, I think, moving forward. And, we're just so tied up in getting the games out there, developing the games. And, so that's something that we definitely need to work on. But we do see there is some things that we're trying to do now. So with our first game, Hōkū, one popular thing in gaming is connectivity, right? Me versus you. So that's why it's specifically for iPhone mobile users, because of the ease of use to connect to each other. So we're trying to lean on certain things in the market that we feel like will help to push our games, past just a Hawaii market. Yeah.
Chad, I just love thinking about all the things that are in place, and the thing that's missing is time, obviously.
Yeah.
So you guys are doing everything you can to create that time, but you don't have it. So that, and I think about Naiole knowing that the next one will obviously have the cultural content that makes it unique coming from Hawaii. But Pogs, everybody likes Pogs, people get it, it's easy. Is it an income generator? I mean, because I don't know, are these games free, or how is the income on?
Yeah. So so we're trying to learn all of these things as we go along. But yeah, so for Hōkū, it is a $5 game that we're planning to release. But we do, like other things that we're talking about, market research and whatnot. One popular thing is releasing a free-to-play game and then generating the income through the in-app purchases. So we have the game scheduled to be released in October as a $5 download, but we are planning to release a free version down the line, and then because we do have an in-app store that could generate that income. So we're going to experiment with that, and then also with the Naiole one is more of a standard, like okay, this is you pay this much, and then you get a gaming experience out of it, a story and other things. So
and you do it as a private entity, so it feels like community.
Groups like community schools and publishing should be partnering because they're not going to develop the game. They're not going to develop the video games yet.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to look, to partner with whoever we can, and until we do, we're trying to take steps to ensure that we can do it on our own. We launched a Kickstarter, we raised some funds. Our next step is to get a game out there to show that, okay, we're a game developer. We're not just talking about we released something, we brought something to the market.
And you met your goal. You got funded to Kickstarter.
Yes, we raised over $10,000.
There you go.
Do you know, like the reasons why people gave to the cause? Was there any services to those people? Why?
So yeah, the Kickstarter was an eye-opening experience for me. We expected like, oh, this is an amazing thing. We're going to get 1,000 people to donate $10. You know what I mean, or whatnot. But it was the opposite. We had like 120 or so people that donated a lot more money than we expected. So it is, I think, so it's a smaller group of people that want to see us succeed and are backing us as a story. So you haven't seen a lot of the stuff that we put into our games. But one major thing that we want to do is push our story as a developer, and which is what we did on our Kickstarter program. So we kind of tell the story that this is us, where we're from, this is the game that we want to make, and push that as a story. So I think it kind of related, and people we want to support them.
One more question.
There you go.
One more question. Nothing? Okay. Well, thanks, Chad. Good job.
Thanks, Chad.